Hey guys, property search, think Gladfish. I'm Alegre-Wood and this is Property Rant. So today, a question that we get asked quite regularly, which is, can I use my own mortgage broker? And the answer is absolutely yes, you can, okay? There's no restrictions on being able to use it. I'll raise a couple of points here to think about. But effectively, look, no, you can use your own. But let me ask you this, if you don't have the time to do it yourself, do you really have the time to manage a mortgage broker to do it for you? Okay, so that's the first thing, is the time. Do you have the time? If you don't, then consider using our broker. We will handle everything, we'll get everything organised, and that way we can press or push things forward and keep up to date and all that sort of stuff, rather than you having to chase that and you having to do that. So that's the first thing. The second thing is the broker that you're actually going to use, are they skilled in the type of investment you're getting the mortgage for? Okay, and if they're not, then you might consider using another one. Okay, someone who is, because one of the things we are using is we're using people that are professionals. They deal with this type of property, this type of investment all of the time, okay? And that's one of the keys. Mortgages, rather, you know, I was a mortgage broker 15 years ago, 20 years ago, and I was actually approving loans and doing all that sort of stuff. So I've got a really good background in this realm, if you like. It's changed. It's become a lot more difficult, a lot more process driven. You know, the application which used to be this now is this. You know, the detail you've got to go into, and it can't just be broad. You know, I remember back in the days where it was like, how much is your mortgage owed? Oh, it's 95,000. When actually now you want to be putting 94,756 and 20 cents, 20 pence. You know, so times have changed. It's got a lot harder. You know, the processes you have to go through and the level of detail that the lenders go to. I mean, really, the government have, you know, they're a bunch of monkeys and idiots, because what they've done is they've taken away all the discretion from the lender, who is a business, you know. Now, the problem is the government bailed out the banks, so now they feel they own the banks, and so what they're doing is they're controlling them, saying, we don't care about an individual's circumstances. All we care about is systemic, you know, security and stability and this sort of thing. And really, you know, the individual being able to, you know, if you like, underwrite, which is what with the process we do when we do a loan, we underwrite the client. There's no discretion there. The discretion has been taken off. You know, now it is so long and so hard and so difficult to go through a mortgage process. It's almost prohibitive. You know, which is not good for anyone. I mean, there are people out there, and this, you know, building a portfolio is absolutely essential for most people's pensions, yeah? And that is being taken away, and what it's being given back to is big businesses that will profit from it. So they will profit from it, not the individuals, and then the individuals are left with pensions that are totally underfunded. But anyway, that's me ranting on, but this is Property Rant, so I suppose I'm allowed to. But anyway, so coming back to, can you use your own broker? Yes, you can. But do you have the time? Are they experts at what they do? All right? And if they're not, then you might consider using it. But certainly, yes, you can use your own broker, but it's a whole lot easier to use out. But by all means, when you speak to them, you know, vet them. Ask them all the questions you want to ask, you know, or you need to ask to get comfortable with them. But certainly if you've got your own broker. One final point. Your broker, or whoever the broker is, may be part of a network, and that's more than likely. They're part of a network, and they've got access to and they will say whole of market, but actually it's a segment of the market. Now you might find that actually they come back to you and say, well, actually there's no lending at 75%, we can get you lending at 60%. And you're like, what? That's ridiculous. But what you find, if you swap brokers and go to a new network, okay, that opens up new lenders, and then you get your 75% mortgage. So just because somebody says there's no mortgages on the market, there's no mortgages in their segment of the market, because not every network has every deal on their books. There's also deals where you can't deal with a broker. Say HSBC, they don't deal with brokers. You've got to go direct with them if you want that deal. So there's these sort of things which, you know, you can, and we can discuss those with you anyway. But yes, you can use your own broker. Have a great day. Live with passion.